there I am. All right.
I can see us on there right now.
All right,
Can you hear? All right, everybody. My fault if I'm out here looking at my phone. I was just making sure that this is exactly person.
We don't know what we're doing, guys. This is our very first live. Well, no, I went live by myself yesterday, and then LC now is doing it with me, and this is our first one.
Yo, Zoom is coming in the clutch. It's handy right now.
Yeah, so I'm Randi from Randi B, and LC is from ICan'tBeFamous.com. And we work together all the time. We do a podcast together, and LC writes, and you'll see all his stuff on my thing, and we just black blogging family.
Co-mingling.
Yes.
Making it happen.
So you can see on Facebook, are we there? Are we actually doing this?
Yeah, I can actually see. I was checking my phone like a madman. I see it.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if everybody can see this right now. It seems like Randi B is live. LC and I take our podcast live. So we're in there.
Okay. Hey. All right. So LC and I usually do a podcast where we just talk for about 30 minutes to an hour on just stuff that's happening. And so, you know what? We said, because of this coronavirus, the Rona, we shut in. We need more connection. So hopefully you guys can see us. It allows me to actually put on some lip gloss.
I actually shaved today, people. Yeah.
You shaved for them. See, they should.
Yeah, I shaved for everybody. I did.
It's getting rough up in here, right? Like, you see my nails, right? I don't know if you see. But I do have to shout out my nail salon. I can't get these damn things off. Like I'm soaking, filing. These things are like, this is 3 months, they're going to come off. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's kind of impressive.
No, I've actually, I'm also looking to buy like a new set of clippers because like my boys, like, they need a haircut. And I used to cut hair. So it's just like, all right, look, man, I need to hit these boys with something because like they in here looking rough. You know what I'm saying? Hairlines is all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We try to stuff things in braids just to make do, but it's like, nah, I gotta get the clippers.
I'm actually braiding my baby son's hair. He has like natural locks, but he wants to like
preserve.
He's going too like Bigfoot like, so I'm gonna try to work with him today a little bit.
Yeah, no,
I didn't have girls. I wasn't gonna have to do hair, but I still,
listen, I stick with the things I know because like I'm about to have a girl and I don't know nothing about girls' hair. I don't know.
Excited you're having us a girl.
Yeah.
Have you told your wife that I have claimed auntie status? Have you let her know? Because you probably should let her know.
No, she knows and she's fine with it. Listen, she's excited to finally have a counterpart because I mean, listen, between me and the boys, there's a lot of men in the house. But the thing is, I'm just as happy to have a girl in the house because there's too many dudes in my house. Too much unnecessary aggression back and forth. And it's like, all right, man, like I need somebody to break this up.
Break it up. And so we talked about on the podcast, we're praying that you are able to be in the delivery room because of the Rona, they're not letting people in.
Right. And it's like, we've been going to, especially since it's third trimester, like every week, 2 weeks now, there's been more appointments. And like I haven't been in the room for like any of the sonograms or prenatal appointments since about maybe the end of February or something like that. So
that's tough. Like you don't think about how this coronavirus is affecting so many things.
Right, and especially because it's like, New York is obviously the hardest hit state in the country. So they're being extra, precautious. Like right now, like I actually just learned something new because I guess as the rules are today, what they're gonna do is because of course like my wife asked them like, look, can my husband be in there? There's no way, like she wouldn't feel comfortable going through this, without me in there. So apparently like the way they're doing it is they're testing everybody upon entry, right? Upon entry into the hospital. And if the test gets back before the actual delivery happens and they find out that like, God forbid I have it or something like that, then they're going to tell me that I can't be in there. But if it's fast, if like the delivery is like fast enough before like the test can actually come back, by then I'm already in there. They're not gonna kick me out once I'm already in there. But it's like so many variables.
Test you, I guess it has because you could have got contracted it that same day. Because I was like, they can't go ahead and test you now, but it wouldn't matter because then you could get it tomorrow.
Right, exactly. So they do it right, like so. If we come to the hospital and say they're like, hey, I think it's go time or something like that, then they'll give you like a test. And I don't know how long how much time it actually does to get back the results. But they're saying if the delivery happens faster than the test results, they can't really do anything about that. But if the delivery's slow enough that they get my results back and I have it somehow, they're going to tell me like, yeah, you got to go stand over there. You got to go sit over there. And, but I'm hoping it doesn't come to that.
I'm praying. I got my fingers crossed that it all
Yeah.
works out and things are better. Because you guys got a little bit of time now. A little bit.
Yeah, like it's a little under 2 months. So hopefully by the end of June, things look a little bit different, or at least people will be like a little bit more lenient, you know, because.
Well, you don't want them to be lenient if it affects affects some stuff though.
Well, of course. But it's like, hopefully, like, you know, because I know that, you know, numbers have been dropping in New York, thankfully. Or at least like.
Just so you guys know, LC is in New York and I'm in California.
Yeah, so I'm in Central. I'm in Corona Central, y'all. Like, it's fucked up.
Which, you know, I do think that the people in New York have suffered more greatly just for being in the atmosphere, you know, of like just, I have some friends in New York. I told you, to me, it seems like they are even more just depressed. Like, I think it's harder because it's everywhere. You guys have been hit so badly.
Yeah, the thing with New York is, you know, as opposed to many other states, we live so much on top of each other.
Right.
That it's literally impossible to, you know, avoid certain things. Like for me, like, even though I have a car, I mostly take the train to work, right? It's like the train is just jam-packed. It's just like there's no way to avoid it. So it's like you're coming into contact with people all the time. Who knows what they have? And it's just, even though it was different, I remember about like 6 years ago, I had pneumonia. And I know for a fact I got it from being on that train. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's an inevitable thing when you live that in such a close proximity to one another. And it's like everybody's moving everywhere all the time. Everyone's like dealing with buildings, and it's just like I grew up in a building with like 26 floors, and it's just like there's 9 apartments on each floor. It's like you come in contact with so many people that, you know, if one person got it,
everybody
got it.
Like, everybody got it, right? Yeah.
I think a crazy thing that they actually said recently was instead of just testing for the virus, they've been testing people for antibodies, right? Just to see if like they're building up any like immunity. So even more so if there's an antibody in your system, then they know that at some point in time you actually had it. So then that means, or I guess based on the numbers, then more people in New York have had it than they originally anticipated. So at this point, they're saying like 1 in 4 people in New York have it or had it. And it's just like, that's nuts.
That is crazy.
That's nuts.
You know, in Sweden, that's kind of what the guy's saying. Sweden, the head of like health and diseases or whatever his title is, he's just like, look, we all gonna get it. So just practice, you know, be as safe as you can, but they have no restrictions. Now, right now, it ain't looking like it was a good idea because numbers are insane. But he's just like, forget it, man. Just everybody go get it anyway. So let's just roll.
The thing is, though, it's like, if you like, all the scientists are basically saying the ultimate goal is herd immunity. Now they're like, there's only 2 ways to get herd immunity. Either everybody gets it and then
you were like chickenpox when I was a kid.
Right. Or you get a vaccine and then everybody's able to, you know, protect themselves from it. Sweden is basically just like, fuck it. I guess y'all gonna get this herd immunity from just being outside. But if you look at them in proximity to all the other countries that are around them, they literally have 10 times the amount.
It has not worked out well. And, you know, I was watching the guy interviewed, I think it was on 60 Minutes, and he was just like, you know, I was like, yeah, he just
even the people, even Swedish people are like, hey guys, yo, look, man, like we outside. I see people at restaurants sipping their coffee, like, listen, if we're gonna get it, we're gonna get it.
Oh, that's how they are. Well, okay, and I guess that's how some of these protesters this week, you know, the people who are protesting being shut in, some of them are calling it slavery, which, you know,
it's slavery. I can freely go to my governor's house or the courthouse with machine guns, but it's slavery. That's cool.
I am experiencing slavery because y'all trying to save my lives. Now, okay, can we, you know, first of all, I got to see, you know, when you see cases where they talk about Tamir Rice, who had a play gun and he was seen as a threat. Or,
in an open carry state, but.
In an open carry state, exactly. Or, you know, everyone's seen, you know, you see black men are always seen as threats, but these white men with machine guns, essentially.
Actual machine guns.
Actual machine guns. and angry, because, you know, we're always so, you know, phrased as so angry. They're sitting up, carrying their guns, mad as hell on the front steps of these Capitol buildings and things. And, you know, my first thought is like, if you don't look at this crazy hot freaking mess. But the second thing is like, how many of us would die? Like, forget arrested, die that day.
Probably 90%. No, not 90. But there's no way that, because listen, like somebody, I mean, of course, anytime protests happen, especially in these days, people bring up Kaepernick, and it's just like your man's career has basically been over for the last few years, just from something he was doing silently. Whereas people are patriots for showing up to their government buildings with guns, and it's just like, guys, like, all right, look, I understand people's frustration because I've probably said it on multiple podcasts. I've written about it multiple times. The unemployment rate is fucking crazy. So I understand people being upset. The economy is in the shitter right now. So I understand it. It's like 30 million people who don't have jobs. I understand being upset. And frankly, I do want things to get up and running as soon as possible because like people can't maintain this. But on the same token, it's like, there's got to be a give or take. Like, yes, we don't want the economy to crumble, but it's like, we also don't want y'all to die. Because, like, all right, let's say, for example, like these people who are going to the courthouse, maybe you guys can get the virus and then you might live. You guys might be fine. You don't know who you're coming into contact with where they might not be fine just being around you. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly. But, and also, the people who keep pushing people to get the economy going, they're not going anywhere. Like, this is my thing. If we're all going to be in this together and suffer, I need, like I said on the video I did last week, I need to see the mayor, the president, and everybody. I need to see them getting their nails done. Like, I want video. I want to see them getting their nails done. I'm talking about Trump needs to be getting a full set with, like, designs and shit on them. I need to see him getting a haircut at a barber shop that he's in public with everybody. If it's so safe and we shouldn't be tripping, you know, I need Kemp and all of them. I want to see them bowling with their families. I want you to take your children to the bowling alley if it's safe and carry your asses out there. Like, of course they want the economy to go, but why does it have to be on the backs of Black people? Because we're the ones who oftentimes are facing people. You know, we're the delivery people. We're in the grocery stores. We're the people who are doing the hair and barbershops and stuff like that. And I'm like, they don't care if we die. So if they can get the economy going and we lose this many Black folks, it all seems good.
No, it's crazy. That reminds like the mayor of Las Vegas recently. If you want to know, hey people, if you want to know what people think about you, the mayor of Las Vegas got on somebody's television station.
He was on CNN, Anderson Cooper.
We're okay with Las Vegas being the test case. So it's like, all right, so what your mayor is telling you is that, hey, you guys go outside, see how fucked up y'all get. We gonna watch. Just to say, it's like, all right, y'all, it's cool. About
it's cool. Yeah.
40% of them are gone, but it's cool. It's cool. Y'all can all. Right. Like, no, and I forgot.
Did you know Anderson asked her, and he said, so are you going to go to the casinos? And so she said, no, I'm not. She said, I'm not going. I mean, she said it. She said, I'm not going. I was like, so that's that right there. Okay, now, you know, we got to keep pushing on. Talking about fear of Black men, right? And we talk about how the white men are doing that.
I know where we're going.
Katie Couric. Yes. You wrote about Katie Couric. I did a video about it. And, you know, some people aren't getting it. You know, they're not getting it about why it's a big deal. Of course, that mainly Black people understand what we're saying. But I don't understand. How was she shaking? I mean, they're on an interview just like us. We're right now. Like, there's nothing you could do to me right now. Like, nothing else that you could do that would leave me shaking.
So I'm gonna remove the microaggression for a second that we know is there. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
But let's take that off the table for a second. Let's not bring in the microaggression part of it.
Right.
Let's just talk about it from just two people in a room. So from two people in a room, you asked me a question. Hey, people like you, should you just stick to acting? That's what you said. This is literally what you asked him. Yeah. People like you, should you stick to acting? And he was just like, I don't know what people you're talking about. Like, I'm not people.
Or people like me.
Like, I'm not who you're trying to paint me as. I'm just a guy who acts. That's it. And then you could have just left it right there and then gone on to your next question. But no, you try to rephrase the same question. And then every single time you try to rephrase it, he was just like, yo, you ain't heard me the last time?
Right.
I said, I'm not people. I'm not folk. I'm just a dude who acts. That's it. He's not going to let you back him into a corner.
Right.
And it's just like you keep trying to paint a narrative of people like him, which like you're trying to paint every actor or every Hollywood personality. Because the thing is, you notice that even when it comes to like people like Trump, when they're arguing against the Hollywood elite, they always bring up that fact. It's just like, no, it has nothing to do with people being from Hollywood. It has more so to do with we see the bullshit that you're talking about. So Denzel saw the bullshit that you were asking him, and he was just like, nah, I'm not falling for that trap. I'm not the people you're talking about. I'm just a guy. Now you can ask me, how about you ask me questions about the Manchurian Candidate? That's why I'm here.
I was just saying, and my thing is he's a celebrated actor, so she clearly hadn't prepared for the interview, which also annoyed me because here he is, you know, a celebrated award-winning actor, and you haven't prepared, and you just asking some general questions and trying to generalize him. You know, she gave him no respect, and she was ill-prepared, and he checked her on it, and checked her nicely.
Now, let's bring back into microaggression.
Let's come back, yeah.
Let's bring back into microaggression, because then that speaks to the whole, you were shaken. All right, no, he gave you an answer that you didn't want to hear. That's really all it was.
Which that could not have been the first time that she got an answer that she didn't want to hear. She's done thousands of interviews.
He wouldn't play ball, and you couldn't back him into this corner that you were trying. Like you tried to set up the shot, and he was just like, "No, I'm not taking that. I'm not falling for it." And then now all of a sudden, just like, "Oh my God!" But then she tried. I respect him so much. I don't know why he went that way. Yes, you do, because you asked him.
You know what?
He said, "Nah."
I'm trying to teach people. You can be really nice and do something that's racist. You can be doing a microaggression or be microaggressive and still be nice about it. I find that people think because they were nice that what they did wasn't wrong. You get what I'm saying? So
she's confused.
Because she feels like when she says, "Oh, I really respect him," then that means it's supposed to be good and he's supposed to be thankful.
Yeah, it's because yes, but it's also because I respect you. Why don't you answer the question that I'm trying to ask you and, you know, give me the soundbite that I'm looking for? Like, no, not doing that.
Smart for that.
And the thing about it is too, even take away his response in that particular moment. If you've watched any Denzel interviews, he's not for play. Like he talks to everybody that plainly, and it's just like he's not with the shit. Like if you go ask him a dumb question,
and he's cool as hell. That's what even when she said she was shaken.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he never raised his voice. I guarantee.
He always just like this. That's why she was shaking. He's cool as the other side of the pillow, like, you know, our brother used to say. Like, so why would that leave you shaking? If anything, it should have left you like, you know what, I should have prepared better for that interview. That interview taught me a lot because it taught me to come and be prepared. If one question doesn't go the way you want it to go, you're prepared with the next one.
She was shaking with her stupidity. She was uncomfortable with the dumbass question that she asked and the response she got from it. That's really all it is.
She was shaking because he was a black man.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, like, listen, you're not gonna. He's too smart to not see the trap you were trying to set, because like what I wrote about in the in my article was that's basically like the more PC version of shut up and dribble. That's basically what you're saying. Like you're basically saying like, hey, you do this thing for a living, so why don't you just do that and not comment about these other things? That's what you wanted him to say. He's not gonna do that. I'm not gonna feed into that. Like if
because I have a character, they don't want LeBron to speak out. They don't want Kaepernick to speak out. Just shut up and dribble.
Right, which for these media personalities, what makes you more qualified to speak about
exactly
things? Like you went to school for journalism. That doesn't necessarily, if you went to school for journalism, because not all of them did. But even if you did go to school for journalism, that doesn't automatically make you an expert on like political and social issues.
You know what? That had nothing to do with her being a journalist. That had everything with her being white and a woman and used to people kissing her butt and not checking her on something. And the fact that she felt in any way threatened is just says so much about America and her role in it. Because somehow, no matter what, they always end up coming off as victims or frame themselves. Women like her, I mean, I say all white women, but women like her are quick to become victims, and use that excuse. Like, so when they do wrong, and you know, they always end up the ones calling the police.
Oh, listen, I'm a big black guy, so I get it. Like I'm always getting the side eye, getting the, you know, that, yeah.
Even
Right.
and I said, so even in an interview with someone's professional and celebrated, he's still someone who can get somebody shook. And she felt comfortable. And I'm like, this happened in 2004, and she's still bringing it up, rolling the brother under the bus, man.
Yeah, we talking about like 16 years ago. I'm just like, this has nothing to do with nothing right now. Like, yeah, like I'm sure Denzel was at home. Then again, I know he'd be disconnected from shit. He probably don't even know. He probably doesn't even know this shit's happening right now. Like, we out here talking about.
Paula came in there and said, have you seen this bullshit? Have you seen, let me show you that. Yeah, she probably seen it going off with her girlfriends. He probably
shrugging his shoulders.
Cares, because you know that's how we women are. We getting fired. She getting fired up.
See, like, he's better than me, because I'd be the main. Like, I probably, if my wife came in there and says like, Elsie, you know what they said about you? Like, fuck that. Like, let's go. Like, but that's me. I'm a lot more fiery. It's fine.
You know what? He's got to be used to it at a certain point. Like, it's like the video I did about her. You know, I had people on there saying, why do you always have to make things racial, right? And like, because I hear that all the time, there's certain things that it's just like, you know, and it doesn't even upset me anymore, because you know you're going to hear it, right? Like, you know you're going to hear it. There's certain things that you know is going to be said.
Because, all right, look, all right, for people who are maybe slightly confused about that, like, you got to look at it this way, right? If you're having a conversation with somebody, if they're not making a threat against you, if they're not, you know, speaking to you in a demeaning manner, there's literally nothing that can come across to make you feel shaken. Like, there's nothing for you to be fearful of if they're not making any threats against you. They're not saying anything disparaging about you. There's literally nothing in his speech that is being presented to you that should justify you feeling shaken.
Unless
So,
you already have your
the
own
words
life.
he's saying, if the words he's saying aren't the things that are making you shaken, then what is it about him speaking to you is making you feel shaken?
That's it.
Do what you will with that information.
Ask yourself that question. You know, white people don't want to do the work and ask yourself, why am I reacting that way? I mean, there's things that we all react to differently, right? There's sometimes that both my sons, 19 and 17, could say something. I react to my 17-year-old a little differently because he's my younger child. And I have to say to myself, let me delve into myself and say, Randy, you're having this reaction because in your mind, he's your baby. So go ahead and let him drive so-and-so. We all have these things, but you know, it seems like it's so offensive. It's like, because, you know, white people don't want to delve into that. It's too uncomfortable for them. We have to act like these things don't exist. And how do we fix it if we don't talk about it? The woman had no reason to be shaken except for the fact that she has biases against Black males, which so many people do. And you guys got to carry that burden. Let me just say I'm sorry to all my Black brothers out there. No, I'm serious. Like, that have to live every day feeling like the enemy when you've done nothing. That's a burden that I don't even know if you guys recognize that you carry all the time.
No, like, it's funny because I could name just like a variety of situations where it's like, it'll be something just like so, you know, minute, where it's just like, all right, I see. I'm reading the room right now. Like, I remember, like, maybe fresh out of high school, I just had a job interview. Mind you, I'm in a suit with like a briefcase, all this other sort of, and like I walk on the elevator, this woman immediately clutches her purse, and I'm like,
everyone has those stories.
Like, yeah, oh yes, so yes, me in the suit with the camera on the elevator. I'm gonna rob you right now. Like, I'm trying to get a job in this building, but it's like, you know what? I really want this job. I also really want the $20 in her wallet, so I'm finna take this right. No, like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I mean. It's not even logical. Like Katie Couric's thing wasn't logical. Okay, guys, well, speaking of logic, we're going to sign off, but y'all be logical when it comes to keeping yourself safe. Your lives are most important, hopefully, you know, so be logical out there. Be safe. We're thinking about you, praying for you. Anything you have to say, LC?
No, I'm just actually interested to see what this looks like on Facebook in a second. So, like, I'm gonna sign off here and then go check there to see how.
Yeah. You know, and just so you guys be patient with us, we're trying to learn different ways to connect with you during this pandemic. Because I feel so detached from everybody, and I like You know, connection is very important. It's very needed and important. So we'll see how.
I didn't even know you could do this on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I didn't know you could log directly into Facebook.
I'm learning. I'm researching. So guys, keep in touch with us. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this. Unless you thought it sucked. If you thought it sucked, keep it to yourself.
No.
I'm too sensitive. We sensitive.
We're not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to argue with nobody on a Saturday. So.
All right, look us up. Tell them where they can find you, LC.
All right, you can find me ican'tbefamous.com or on literally every social media site there is at ICBFDOTCOM.
Yep. And y'all know me, Randy B. I'll holler at you. Be safe.
Right. Peace.
Bye.